Hello friends, welcome back, how are you all doing today? I was playing quite a bit of Team Fortress 2 last night. We were playing across the new maps on RT Games server. We were playing for about 5-ish hours. The last, 2 hours of that I might have been spent waiting for the actual update to come out, but it didn't, and I ended up going to bed. However, before that point, I managed to get quite a good few demos of the new maps, so I thought it'd be quite nice to get a little preview of the gameplay, because the last video we made at the time, I hadn't had any gameplay on it at all, so my opinions were purely based off of kind of a subjective standpoint at the time, but now I've had a chance to play through all of the maps quite a bit. I think it can give me a little bit more of an opportunity to speak properly about them. And also, I think this demo I played quite a few classes. I might only play Scout, I can't remember, but I was switching around to like Soldier and Spy and stuff, so I thought it'd be quite interesting as well, so you can see how the map seems to play around with the other classes, because something which I've definitely noticed is there's a lot of kind of class-locked areas. I can't think of a better description. I don't know if my man's about to go up here now, but behind the point, up to the top left, so get the Pyro, yeah. Yeah, you got him. Up to the top right there, next to the waterfall, there's little hidden rooms, and it seems to me that really only scouts, demos, and soldiers can get up there. And with the scout, you don't kind of do the jump you imagine. There's a nice little staircase that you think that you'd be able to climb up, but in reality, you need a double jump, and you need to jump off some other completely different object. But, yeah, right at the start here, I think some people were starting to download the map, so it got a little bit spawn campy. I have noticed that. I think I played about maybe 3 or 4 complete matches on this map, and most of them ended up being spawn camps for like about a minute or two, and then eventually people started to join and they managed to get out. So I don't necessarily think it's a flaw of the floor of the map that it's spawn campable. I think it's more of a flaw of the fact that they've had players who were downloading the map. Maybe it was only 6v6 at this point, so just let them all join back in. It'll be a little bit easier on their end, but as you can see, nice little thing for scouts. There is a lot of places where, like here, I can just immediately jump out of the woodwork and jump in front of people's faces. Unfortunately, Young Mentalex, I was playing with my friends, by the way. We were streaming the other night. I can skip through this as well, this is a demo. But Young Mentalex was there as well, as was Glyra and Daniel, and Porky joined. And as such, we had a nice little chat, and I got some opinions from them. Vague opinions at the time of what they thought about the maps. Some of them didn't seem to really mind. They didn't seem to really think there was too much information we can grasp on it, because quite a common question in chat was, can you see these maps being played in Highlander or Sixes or any form of competitive? And I said, maybe. I think the 3-point payload map, enclosure, I don't think that'll ever be played, because Highlander does not like long maps like that. As you may have noticed, might have picked up, there are absolutely no 3-point payload maps in Highlander. There's no Thunder Mountain, there's no Gold Rush. Gold Rush was played maybe in like Season 1, but people realised really fast that maps like that mean that officials basically take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to play, and no one really wants to do that. Maps like Badwater and Up would have preferred, because they're fairly short. So, yeah, I don't see the enclosure map being played. This one I see some potential in. From what I've seen, there's the number one thing that normally stops a map from being played is really, really abusable sniper sightlines, and there being not enough health and ammo, because some maps just really, really skimp out on the ammo and health for some reason. But however, I've noticed that Brazil does do that. The new version of Brazil, it's actually quite different to the one I originally played. At its core, I'd say about 80-90% of the map's the same. But there's a lot of changes which I've noticed. Like, they added a lot of new flanks, and they removed almost all of the health packs. And health packs are already an issue on that map. So, if that map's still playable, you can see a nice look at this beautiful geoscape. Have you ever played XCOM? The big ball in there reminds me of that. I love it. Anyway, onwards with this. This map specifically, I think, does have some small potential of being played in. I think I was pointing out to Menti here about the geoscape thing, having a little taunt in there. Oh, it's so nice. Just playing the game in third person is quite different to actually playing the map. Let me try and get rid of this menu, there we go. But actually just playing in first person, the map, they all seem to flow really, really nicely. I didn't seem to see too many places where there was a huge stalemate. This map, as you can see, no more of a spawn camp. I think their team has a pretty much full team, and there's a nice little half health pack, there in the middle, trying to push our scout friend off. And there's a nice little half health. I've done it twice. I'm excited. I've lost the ability to speak properly. This is alright. So the fact that there's a health pack on both sides of the point, like there's some up in the little room up there on the top right. I think we're about to jump up there now, maybe? No. That little waterfall is how you get up into the room as scout, by the way. We'll probably show it off later. As you see here, I see a little engineer in the drop down. I think that's probably not a bad place to put a teleporter, to be honest. It allows their team to get into what seems like a flank from my end fairly fast. and it's not really easy for my team to take out that teleporter, so good on his end. But anyway, on with the whole health pack thing. Oh, here we go. You see me trying to get up there. This is the jump you have to make, is you see that little thing on the left? I have no idea what my mans are doing here. This is me playing. It's a demo. I'm running around and killing medics. But yeah, back on the health pack topic, which I've already skipped past 3 times. I'm trying to say it. Maps that only have, like, even if it's a symmetrical map, maps that only have health packs on one half of the map, say if it was only down by the pit down there, it tends to become a little lopsided, because if one team owns that half of the map, it's no longer really a symmetrical map, kinda, because they have a huge advantage. They have the health pack, they probably have an ammo pack nearby, whereas the other team doesn't. So even though it's King of the Hill, both teams are meant to have the same opportunities. Having only one health pack on one side doesn't make it equal, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at? And also there's a nice little sprinkling of like little mini and medium ammo packs and health packs just scattered around. Like on this end, you see, look, there's a duo of small ones. You see the Pyro corpse to the right? Oh, come on, Woolen, do the jump. I know you want to show it. There's a nice jump on the waterfall. Oh dear, come on. No, he's just shooting the medic, that's alright. Cool feature, by the way, I've noticed on this map. You can actually stand on the pine trees. The pine cone trees? Pine trees. Coconut trees. I'm not sure. Palm trees. I guess palm trees is the official term for those. A lot of maps either make you slide off of it, like Banana Bay, which we'll get some footage of in the future. That Sentry could not take any bullets for some reason. But anyway, yeah, a lot of maps kind of slide you off the top of trees for some reason, and it makes me sad, because I'd love to stand on them and be sneaky. This map lets you do that. Just like if you've ever played Abandoned Upward, you can just kind of hide in the foliage and have a good little time. It's not as bad as Abandoned Upward, where the tree is massive and they can't see you. Like, you can see people standing on top of the palm trees, so that's fine. But anyway, it's just nice. A lot of the new maps, I also noticed, have the, I like to call it like, the old granary taste to them, where you could literally just jump anywhere you like. Unfortunately, they changed Granary a couple of years ago, and it made me sad. I used to like that map, because you could stand on, like, all the signs, all the doorways and stuff. That was great. This map has that. If you see a ledge jutting out, you can probably stand there. That's one of the things that make me think that it might be possible to play in Highlander. A, the map doesn't have any gigantic sniper sightlines that I've seen, at least. I haven't seen any snipers dominate on this map yet, and unless you're standing on the point, I don't think you have much of a sightline. And even from then, you've only really got a sightline to people that are right in front of your face, so from what I can tell, it seems like it could potentially have at least an experimental cut played for it. I have no idea. I'm not an ETF2 admin. I could ask. But I think it's not unlikely that this map and Brazil, could be played. And to my knowledge, from what people were saying, the Moss Rock map and the Brazil map were played in cups. I can't remember if they went well, but from what they said is that they enjoyed the maps. They thought it was quite fun. A couple of people in my stream came on and they said on the Moss Rock specifically, there's a lot of really, really cool little hidey spots that you can play spy on. If you're the kind of man who likes to, you know, play Invis or Cloak and Dagger, hide on a little outcropping that no one can see you on and then get the perfect stab, I think that will be kind of the map for you, which hopefully, like Moss Rock, you know, the update's only a couple of days away. When Moss Rock comes out, I could really easily see myself putting a lot of hours into that map. It's fairly large, but not absolutely humongous, so it's not like it's going to take you like 2 hours to finish the map. It isn't, you know, bloody CTF double cross when both teams have sentries down. It's like, it's a decently spaced map. It's just there's so many little flanks to go on. This one as well. I'm trying to think. I think all of the new maps, from what I'm thinking off the top of my head, all have really, really cool flanking opportunities. And my favourite maps, i.e. Badwater and Upward, my favourite parts of those maps... Oh, this is a little bit of a whiff. Isn't that embarrassing? I got a Kritzkrieg. And I missed, I mean, I got 2 crits, but I didn't kill him. I'm going to put that down to bullet spread. This server, unfortunately, you might have noticed, it's a little laggy. The pings were alright, but the hit reg was a kind of balky. Remember the Sentry earlier? I did, to my knowledge, shoot it, but that's alright. No worries there. So do forgive me if there's a couple of missed shots, because, as hopefully you'll know, with bullet spread, sometimes you'll just miss. And you kind of just have to live with it, unfortunately. Most servers disable it on, like, Scout and stuff, but this one didn't. But, to my knowledge, I think the last time I played on RT Games server, he had Roll the Dice enabled. So, thank God you had that disabled for today, otherwise this would have been a lot harder to find. And yeah, here I'm trying to find an invisible spy, and I think I just kind of give up. There you go. He dies to Milkshake's crit arrow, but as you could see from that spy, he got, like, a really weird position away from me. I thought he was against that wall on the left, yet he must have, like, jumped on some objects and gone miles away. I can imagine playing on this map with, like, the invids and just being able to just go all sneaky and hide up on top of a palm tree, on top of a rock, and then invis and then just whoosh down on someone and get like a really cool stair stab. A lot of these maps, by the way, do seem to be quite Degrooty, I could say, Degroot keepy, where there's like, you see, look at my scout's walking on. He's not walking on flat ground, he is walking on very bumpy raised surfaces. That is like ideal. These kinds of surfaces are ideal for stair stabs, because hopefully you'll know, you can stair stab anyone as long as there's a slight height. I don't know if there's a minimum height. I'm assuming there's, you know, like a 20 hammer unit minimum. I've never actually checked. It might just be that a 1 hammer unit distance allows you to stair stab. Regardless, you can stair stab people off teleporters. So if the lump in the ground is at least the size of a teleporter, you'll be able to get nutty trick stabs on it. And in a lot of these areas, like even this ramp up here, and another ramp here, a lot of places you can run around with like the kunai and the revolver and the invis or something and go nutty. Young Daniel fragging us there. He's been using a lot of funky, like, referential names lately, I've noticed, Young Daniel. Apparently this is a reference to like a YouTube channel that's a speedrunner or makes funny videos or something. I don't quite remember. Yeah, we get screwed a little bit by pyros in this corridor, but that's fair, to be honest. Like, it's a pyro in a corridor. Update hasn't hit right now, so, you know, degrees to shotgun's still fairly normal. Also, here we go, a little piece of information that's going to make this video a little dated for the future. Hello, future people, by the way. We don't quite know what the new weapons are going to be yet, but it looks a little bit like the Pyro's new flamethrower has, like, an engine in it, like a leaf blower. So, some people in my Discord are speculating that it might be, you know, a leaf blower flamethrower, don't know what, but that made me think that maybe they're reworking Air Blast. No idea. But anyway, right now, Pyro's, if he's in a little corridor, he really should win the battle. That really is the Pyro's battle. It's the Scout's battle to win if you hit both your meat shots, but unfortunately I didn't hit both my meat shots and I died, and I feel like that's alright. This map has, like, I can't think of any situation where a class is bad on this map specifically. I feel like as Scout, you can see is perfectly fine, and if you look at the soldiers, they're all doing amazingly. Pyros obviously did fine earlier, and there's a lot of little corridors for Pyros to sit in and flank on. You can kind of pick your position. If you like the nice open area of the map, you can stay where my Scout is now. If you prefer the corridors, stay where this Pyro and Soldier are. I shouldn't have gone in there. Looking back, that was a stupid decision. I'm the Scout. They need to come to the capture point. I'm way better in the open, so if I was doing a little bit better and I was thinking a little bit more, at the time I think I was, you know, having a conversation and not really thinking too hard about the gameplay, but, you know, I should have just stayed in the open and let them come to me. So this map might even have some opportunities to be a little bit smart on. We're still playing Scout? Yeah. I think what I was doing this game was I was occasionally asking people what loadout they wanted me to run, and Cake kept saying, put the snowman hat on and some other stuff, and I think he made me play Engineer with the short circuit and the bloody panic attack for a bit, and it was awful. I had to go around on, like, process with it, and it made me sad. But that's alright. We're out in the open again, we've got our solid little place to be, and now we're in our element. I want to kill this Pyro, but he has infinite HP if I remember. I shoot him for like 75. Just no death for him, unfortunately. Medic might even frag me here, yeah. I should go and get a health pack, but oh no! A Sarge comes out of the woodworks, as you can see. It's not just this isn't Lakeside. As I said in the little looky video, what's a better description for that? The looky talky video, that's what I'll call it. Medic draw, I don't even remember this. Oh god, it's not a Lakeside, which is what I'm trying to say. A lot of Koth maps that I played end up just being basically Lakeside, which is giant sniper sight line, and everyone only plays around the middle. This map, I've seen people playing in the tunnels, people playing in the open area, people playing on the flanks, people playing in the spawns. There are areas that you can flank from, should you not want to go across the point. I think he was trying to be friendly here. I'm not in the mood. I need to get those frags, those saucy, juicy frags. But for example, say an engineer puts a sentry down on this map, it's not going to be like Viaduct, where one sentry gun can see everything. The sentry gun on this map is only going to see a small section. Unfortunately, crit the Pyro, sorry about that. The sentry gun's only going to be able to see a certain part of it. And if you are smart, like this, that was a pretty good example. Good timing, Woolen. Past Woolen. Nice job there. Not nice job on this medic. I think you just let him... Yeah, you don't kill him, do you? You just leave him. There's somewhere you can go to outrun the sentry. You don't have to go into its face. I face that a lot. If I'm not playing Spy on a map, like Viaduct or Lakeside, they shove a sentry down. That covers the whole point. Not on this map, from what I've seen. I can't see anywhere, even on the screen right now, where you just stick a sentry and it can see everywhere. Maybe by this rock on this Scout. But even then, you could go up to the little side room to the right there. This side room here. What good taste. This is amazing. Past Woolen's going to the places I want to describe. Yeah, where this Pyro was. You could go up there and then shoot the sentry from a high ground, and it would have a blind spot, where Menti is now. So, I don't think there's anything broken. So, go all the way back to the start about it possibly being playable and competitive. I think it's not unlikely. Also, my frame rate,
I can't see it because I've got my recording config on that makes it look all pretty and prevents netgraph and stuff from appearing. Quite nice. My frame rate was quite stable. I noticed I didn't have any huge frame rate drops. Remember Sweden? Any video on Sweden, any gameplay on Sweden, it's like halves your frame rate. All of the tiles on the roofs on Sweden, the vaguely kind of oriental map, if you remember correctly, King of the Hill, thing crashes your frame rate. This map, though, I didn't have any particular issues with. Inside the little rooms like this, my frame's like quintupled. Like these tiny little corridors here, wonderful. I'd like to fight in those more, just so I can have that smooth frame rate. That's also something in general I noticed about most of the new maps, is that the frame rate was fairly stable. Like for the most part, I'd like to think that even though, you know, not everyone has a nice recording setup, most people will probably have, you know, a laptop or a kind of normal computer. So I'm hoping, I have no stats, but from my friends who I was asking who have normal computers, they said they didn't have any particular frame rate issues, so that makes me quite happy. I know Valve releases quite a lot of maps, including Sweden. God, that map was so framey. Quite a lot of maps that just half the player base can't even play as a result. This one seems nicely optimized, I'd like to say. So, the one reason I wanted to point that out, by the way, is that it's got a lot of clutter everywhere. Not necessarily a good thing. I think it looks pretty. And, to be honest, it's nice. We have, like, what, 40 maps in the game? We have a lot of maps. I think it's nice just to have 4. You know, 4 maps that don't necessarily fit to the Valve, you know, design documents. Yeah, there's a little bit of clutter around. The corridors here look fairly standard, but on the main point, yeah, I can see there's a lot of flowers, a lot of rocks, a lot of outcroppings that maybe could be removed. They don't lower your frame rate, which makes me happy. I'm pretty sure that inside all the corridors there's like a crap load of no-draw regions, which if you've ever piddled around in the hammer editor, or you've ever gone into a wall and seen into the abyss in TF2, you know that kind of thing? Where if you're staring into, like, you're no-clipping into a wall, and then suddenly the map kind of copies itself like a room of mirrors. That's a no-draw region, or something along those lines. Might be a no-draw brush, I don't know the official term. Basically it means if you don't see it, your computer doesn't render it. It's a wonderful tool. Plenty of maps don't even bother with it, or they only use it very sparsely, like they don't load certain objects but not entire rooms. This map, as far as I can tell, if you're in one of these little rooms, like right here, I'm fairly certain my game is not rendering anything on the midpoint. So it means my game is spending all of its power only rendering this spawn room, which is wonderful. It's really good for your frame rate. I can't say that for certain. I haven't checked in the hammer editor. That scout just went flying. Oh my, everything. But as you can see, the frame rate's nice and buttery. I've got, you know, recording programs open. I've put my max quality options on. This is the most taxing you're probably going to get TF2, and it's running fine. Scout, you know, Pyro in the corridor, should have got more health. There was no reason for me to be there. I could have waited on the health pack back there. 10 seconds for a health pack to come back is fairly normal, obviously. So, I'm pretty sure I go soldier at the end. I don't know, I'm still playing scout. I was under the impression I was playing multiple classes, but apparently not. Also, like, I take down a Sarge with me. He was using his grappling hook to pull him into me or something. Oh, that soldier's got quite a... Look at this. Screenshot on recording. I just like that. The soldier had like a little sassy pose with his hands that I'm quite a big fan of. But anyway, yeah. I got stuck inside the soldier but still managed to meat shot him, which was great. So, anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping that this gameplay has at least highlighted that mobile classes, like Scout and Soldier, can do amazingly. Just watch in the top right, look at the kill feed. Almost all the frags are from Scouts and Soldiers, which is great. Mobile classes having a good time on the map is always a good thing to see. This is the server that spams overtime at you. Oh my, it's fun. Also in the kill feed, a lot of people are playing Pyro. You know, Pyro update, people want to have a little play of Pyro. That makes a lot of sense to me. And they're not getting frags in the midpoint, but they're still getting frags. So it's nice to see. I've also seen quite a few heavies poking around, like this one over here. He, however, is not in the best of places, because I bet my heavy's going to go in there and punch him. Oh god, look at him. He, Animal, is going large with those fists of gloves of punching urgently. Oh, what are they actually called? I've completely forgotten what the heavy fists called that give you crits. Killing gloves of boxing, that's it. I've remembered. Here we are. Pointed that all out. Lots of classes seem to be able to play the map quite nicely. I think there's one final round on this map that we can play through. Here we go. So they won a round, we won a round. The map seems fairly... I mean, it's meant to be perfectly symmetrical. I haven't yet seen any issues that it's not been, but some stuff will only come over time. Like, for example, Lakeside looks symmetrical. There's actually certain spots that only snipers on one side can see through. I can't remember where. One of the reasons it's not played in ETF2L. That heavy had too much HP, by the way. One of the reasons Lakeside isn't played in ETF2L is that... A, it's a huge sniper map, and snipers are a big issue in ETF2L. B, there's a place where you can shoot one way, and they can't shoot you back. From what I've seen, there's none of that on this map. There's no way to tell, obviously, but there's no like weird railings or anything that could potentially do that. Nice little feature, by the way. You can see my scout there just ran over the little rope things on the side of the bridge there. It's really nice that they didn't make that bridge whole. I can't think of a better way to say it. The map runs smoothly. There's very little spots where you'll just randomly bump into a rock. If you played a lot of Harvest, you'll know that there's just a rock jutting... Drop the medic. There's just a rock on Harvest jutting out of the ground, not really doing anything, but you always bump into it. Have yet to find any particularly annoying clipping issues. Here we go. You see this rope bridge here. The ropes there are non-clippable, so if I want to run off the edge of that rope bridge, I can just run off of it. It's wonderful. Makes it a very nice, smooth gameplay experience to go through, so I enjoy that. Go back into first person and go. Here we go. I don't know if he was switching up loadouts there or what this Woolen man was doing, but it was quite odd. I've noticed, by the way, if you look where that medic is now... Please shoot the medic. There we go, we've done it. On the little edge off the edge back there, there was like a little jutting outcrop next to the health pack. I'm wondering if maybe you could shove like a mini sentry there, and anytime someone tries to go near the health pack, they get shot a lot. Be quite interesting. Here we go. He's done the jump. Finally, 21 minutes in. This is the jump I wanted to show off. So if you want to go up into the window, without having to use that atomizer, I did use it, but you don't have to. Little waterfall. You jump in the waterfall first. Ah, flipping all my shots and immediately dying. That's cool. That's alright. Everyone else has started to go scout as well. But, yeah, wonderful. I haven't also seen too many snipers, which was quite good. So I can't particularly speak for how good of a sniper map it is. As we saw in the spawn right at the start, I did get shot, but that was more of a good shot on Menti's end than the map being good for snipers. Just got crit into the abyss. Wonderful. Anyway, as we speed back into it, the games seem to go also quite fast. So we've been playing an entire King of the Hill map. I mean, very balanced. One side won, the other side won. I think the scores are relatively the same. We can't tell because it's a demo, unfortunately. Valve has yet to add that as an ability to check the scores in the middle of demos. But, seems fairly balanced. And even in... This is the longest the map can possibly go on for. One win, a draw. Still only taken about 20 minutes. I would like to know either maps like Viaduct. It's almost always a roll, isn't it? It's always like 100 engineers on one side and the other team can't cap, and then it's over in like 5 minutes. Or it's like a huge stalemate on Sweden, when no one caps, or both teams cap over and over and over again, and everyone's frame rate's so bad they just die to snipers across the map. Yet Sweden, you know, that's in the game. I don't see why this one can't be like the much better version of the King of the Hill map. Because realistically, if I'm playing casual, what are the King of the Hill maps that I personally like to play? I like to play Harvest, that's a fine one. I like Nucleus, not the best map, but I've got like a lot of Assash. I wanted to get the little crit. I wanted to get the short kill on him. Nucleus I've got a little bit of nostalgia for, because I used to play quite a bit of it when I started playing, so even though, you know, balance-wise it's not the best, it's just a big flat map, I like a bit of Nucleus, but really that's it. There's just Nucleus and Harvest that I like to play, and even then Harvest is just a huge sniper screw-off. So this map, being a nice, well-made, community-balanced King of the Hill map, could really easily just become, like, probably my favourite, maybe, pub King of the Hill map, because there's no product in this game. If you've ever played King of the Hill Viaduct, hopefully you will, snowy map, not that great. Actual stock Viaduct is kind of bad. It trashes your frame rate, and it's awful. By the way, the reason snow maps trash your frame rate, according to someone on my stream a couple of weeks ago, is, look on the right there. Look everywhere along this map where the ground hits a wall. It's just a flat texture. Look where my crosshair is, all against the walls. It's a nice flat texture, that's it. Floor texture, wall texture. Apparently on snowy maps, they have like a bunch of blending together of textures to try and make it look softer and better, and that's what trashes your frame rates. The snow textures and the weird tricks that they abuse. Oh, look at the server being a little laggy. That was a little unfortunate. The weird tricks that they abuse to try and make it look nice is what lags your server and what lags your game with a snowy map. Product. King of the Hill Product, or Pro Viaduct as it used to be called before. I think Bubble Bobbler renamed it on the workshop. Map has a wonderful frame rate, map's wonderfully open, there's concrete, you know, the little side flank you can go on. Much better map than Viaduct. Why are those not in the game yet? I would like to know. Probably some, like, legal reason maybe, but if they could just also, you know, replace all of the maps that are snowy with the pro versions, I'd be pretty happy. Like, normal Bomb Blitz, not the biggest fan. I played quite a bit of it, and it's like way too stalemate-y. Pro Bomb Blitz, though, that's a wonderful thing. There's signs that pop out of nowhere and go, whoa, go here, and it's wonderful. A little bit spooky, maybe, but we're killing a few people with our remaining life. Look at that. We were going to die. I thought I was going to die way sooner than that, but we still took some people down with us. We did lose, unfortunately. One final round. Oh, shit, we've gone soldier. My game... Ah, here we go. Whoa, that was wild. So, the way that I do demo recording, by the way, is using a config, so I can speed up and slow down with just a key like this. It's wonderful. I changed to soldier there while I was speeding up, so that was nice, and it made my game all crashy. Yeah, I think here, Kay asked me to play soldier, and I was like, you know what? We can do a little cheeky bit of soldier, that would be good. And we, I don't know, we just want to show it off a little bit. There's Menti. Not really, though, it's a spy. Yeah, the Deadwing is still its useful self right now. And oh yeah, I'm looking back at this demo. The server felt bad. I didn't know in person how bad it really was, but in reality, yeah. Oh, here we go. That was a cool little feature. If you watched, what in your mind, the butter knife. Oh my god. I was about to die from full damage. In reality, I like surfed off of the Luigi near. Okay, I surfed off of a smooth surface, which is a trick that you use to avoid taking fall damage. It's quite a normal trick. The fact that this map has that makes me really happy, because it means that you can do really stupidly high, like, sticky jumps and rocket jumps, and not have to die. You see these kinds of, like, Pride Rocks things, like Lion King things poking out the sky, or, like, Nexus from Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. Remember that? Those things. You can kind of just slide off of them really nicely. There we go. This is something I'd like to see. A trimping map on this map. This map with the tide turner must be amazing. Like all these little jutted up things, like that capture point sign there. I don't know if you can trimp up that. But like right next to it, there's a nice little slope. I bet you could like demo man charge up it and have a good time. I think here, I was playing with the Pyro. I wanted him to like reflect jump the floor and go up into safety. And instead this nasty spy came and shot him with his gun. That made me sad. But that's alright, we get a nice little... It counts as an air shot, doesn't it? It was a close range air shot, but I'll take it. I think actually what happened there was... I was going to miss the air shot, but my mouse hit my keyboard and my mouse stopped moving, and because of that, my low sensitivity got me the air shot. Not the best way to aim. There you go, that's a little issue maybe. I think I tried to rocket jump just before the bridge, something I'll have to learn, but there's no wall next to the bridge where I thought I was going to rocket jump off of, and my... off of it. Which... I'm sorry. There was no ridge to jump off of. So my rocket went through the floor, and my soldier went, oh, in pain. That's alright. I'm starting to lose the ability to speak. I haven't had too much sleep, unfortunately, lately. We were, as I said right at the start, waiting for about an hour and a half, 2 hours for the update, and it never came out. The week 2, so, you know, that was great. I ended up sitting for 2 hours, just mentally crying, because one man in the server kept voting for Banana Bay over and over. It's all we played. 2 hours was Banana Bay. I've got to say, we haven't said anything about Banana Bay yet. It's not my favourite map in the update. After playing it for like 2 or 3 hours combined in a row. No more, please. It is also, I confirmed my suspicions. It is basically just High Tower. It's a payload race map where people don't really cap. And even if they're starting to cap, similarly to Cactus Canyon, the cart rolls back, so they have to stay on the cart while the train's coming. So they can only cap in, you know, a 5-second span every minute or something. So realistically, the cart almost never gets capped. The upside to Banana Bay, though, it's really, really... Oh, I nearly fell in the pit there. Really, really good for demo night. You can shield off anywhere. You could pill jump... you could, like, shoot a pill at the floor, and then charge with your shield, and go all the way, almost to their spawn. I quite like that. The nice little movement options that are available for demo night make me quite happy, but... Other than that, it is literally just High Tower, and it's horrible. But yeah, here we go. Is this the final round? Has the team lost, or we got a final one? I haven't been keeping count. We've lost twice in a row, so that should be it, but maybe not. Oh, goodbye, young scout. Just shooting me brutally as I'm waving my hands like a fun man. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do let me know. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more and more as the update rolls out and for the weeks and upcoming, and, you know, hopefully no videos where I just make top 10 lists and all that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Do let me know, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.